McDowell. I'm Kira and this is Damsel, and we're here with your Trojans Today. First up, we'll have a special episode of Third Time's the Charm, where Justin, Megan, and Zach test out the best ways to order food during social distancing. Feeling bored during quarantine? Don't worry, because Mr. Shilaju will show us some of the best books to read during Preoccupied during pandemic. Then back to me with an episode of Cooking with Kira, where I'll show you how to make Oreo cheesecake cupcakes. Up next, Mrs. Weiss is going to show us the adventure she had exploring Siegel Marsh. After that, Kylie will teach us about crocheting. And finally, Mandy and her adorable puppy Ruger will teach us some tricks to occupy ourselves during puppy pastime. First of all, let's head over to today's trivia. If you click on the link in the description or type the URL on screen into a browser, you'll be taken to a Google form for today's trivia question. If you are the first person to get the question right, you'll receive a shout out on our next episode. Now over to Zach, Justin, and Megan with Third Time's the Charm.
Hello McDowell, welcome back to Third Time's the Charm. This week we will be comparing food delivery services from Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Pickup. Follow along to see which took the least amount of time.
In third place, we sadly have Uber Eats, which took roughly 23 minutes to deliver. Let's take a look at this process with Megan.
Hi McDowell, I'm Megan Longo. For this week, I'm using Uber Eats to pick up my delivery from Moe's. When I placed my order, it was 4:02, and my estimated time of arrival was 4:30. My order had a small order fee of $2, the delivery fee was 94 cents, and a service fee of $4.49. It's currently 4:12, and my estimated time of arrival just went up 10 minutes. My phone just got a notification at 4:16 that my order has been picked up, and the new estimated time of arrival is 4:25. My order's almost here. It's here! In total, it took 23 minutes for me to place my order and then have it delivered to my house.
In second place, we have picking up the order in person. This option took about 22 minutes. Now let's talk about how this route was different from the others. I used the Moe's app while ordering my food. All I had to do was go onto the app and select the location I wanted to be at. After that, I chose what I wanted, and it was very easy to choose the toppings I wanted and everything that came with the stack. All I had to do at the end was add a credit card and pick it up at the door. So I just went and I placed the order. Now I'm going to head to Moe's and I'll see how long it actually took. I just picked up my order. Now let's see if picking up in person or using a delivery app is faster. Finally, in first place, we have DoorDash, which took only 20 minutes to deliver. Now on to Justin on how this was different from Uber Eats and Pickup.
I just placed my order on the DoorDash app and they said it should take around 23 to 33 minutes. The food just arrived. Let's see how long it actually took. In total, my DoorDash delivery took only 20 minutes from the time I placed my order to the time I got it on my front doorstep. It was really easy to use, and I think that 20 minutes is pretty fair for a $1.99 delivery price. Thanks for joining us this week on Third Time's the Charm. We had a lot of fun creating it virtually, and we hope you enjoyed it just as much as us from the Trojan News Network. This has been Third Time's the Charm. Now back to Kira.
Thanks guys, I'll definitely have to try one of those methods soon. Now over to Mr. Shilaju with Preoccupied during pandemic.
So you've been sitting around a few weeks and isolated from the world, and at first it was great getting to sleep in and watch Netflix. But now you've gone restless, lonely, and bored. In fact, your Google Classroom online enrichment review activities are looking like a wonderful way to occupy your time. But are you thinking there's got to be a more enjoyable way to pass the time? But what could you do? What could you do? Any ideas come to mind yet? Hello, this is Mr. Shilaju, and come join me as we explore reading for pleasure.
Now, you may be saying to yourself, Mr. Shilaju, I hate to read. But I beg to differ. let's go and take a look at some books that you might enjoy.
First, there are classics. These are books that are so popular that countless readers have enjoyed them regardless of when they were published. Some classic students enjoy are To Kill a Mockingbird, The Great Gatsby, Animal Farm, and I personally recommend Edith Wharton's novellas Ethan Frome, Summer, and The Bruner Sisters. So, you're not into classics? Well, how about something a little more imaginative like fantasy? You may be saying, aren't those books for nerds? Well, guess what? If you like Harry Potter, you like fantasy. And if you thought Lord of the Rings was a really cool trilogy, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but you really like fantasy. Or if you prefer something a little more intense and scary, you may want to read a novel from the best author ever. But that's just my opinion. Perhaps you want to read about people your own age. Then you may like YA or young adult literature. If so, you may like to read popular books like The Hate You Give or Jandy Nelson's award winner, I'll Give You the Sun.
And right now you might be saying, well, I don't like fiction stories. I don't like things that are made up. Well, perhaps then you will like some nonfiction books, like a hard-hitting crime, like Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Or one of Bill O'Reilly's history books in the Killing series. Or perhaps what I consider to be the greatest sports novel of all time, Friday Night Lights.
Now, you may be saying that your interest is piqued, but there are no bookstores open, and even if there were, you don't have any money anyway. Well, today is your lucky day. Google offers some free books online at books.google.com. If that isn't a big enough selection, you can borrow ebooks at the Erie County Public Library with a library card. If you don't have a card, you can go to bookbub.com to gain access to free or discounted ebooks. So now you could be thinking that this is all fine, but how does reading cure loneliness? Well, no problem. You can find online book chats at places like goodreads.com. Join a book club at litlovers.com. And even Barnes & Noble has blogs and clubs on their site.
Serving a variety of interests, affordable, and it can be interactive, reading is an activity that everyone can find enjoyable. I would stick around with you guys, but I'm in the middle of a really good chapter and I want to finish it. So this is Mr. Shillaju from TNN, wishing you a good day.
Those sound like some really good reads. Make sure to check those out if you get bored. Now let's head over to the kitchen and I'll show you how to make an Oreo cheesecake cupcake in this episode of Cooking with Kira. Those were so much fun to make. I strongly suggest you guys try some new recipes at home. But you can also go and explore some natural wonders here in Erie while social distancing. Now over to Mrs. Weiss, who will take us on her hike through Siegel Marsh.
With social distancing in place, one thing we are still allowed to do is take hikes. My family and I chose to seek out some sun today on a trail less traveled. This is Siegel Marsh. There's a little parking lot. And we're going to go on this little paved trail to see where it leads. We are now walking on a little bit of a marshy, it is a little wet. I would make sure you wore some old shoes or mucking boots or something if you hiked this trail. Look how pretty this is here. This is a nice little open trail. Wouldn't have to worry about ticks because there's not much growth.
Oh no, there is a tree across the trail. Whatever should we do?
Obstacles. Keeping our distance from the other person on the trail. Safe distance. Social distancing while hiking. There was a horse here.
And there wasn't two.
Beaver chewed on it. The rest of these, some of these sticks he just dragged out of the way. Down there in the water somewhere, you can see where this is all.
I can see it.
It gets deep on the right hand and the left hand side. It's got a
We ended up hiking 2.6 miles. It was an easy walk, and we found this out-of-the-way location using an app called All Trails. It allows you to locate trails that might not be so popular during this time of COVID-19. And you can use it to track your location as you hike as well. After 3 days of being stuck inside in the rain and the cold, it felt so good to get outside and finally take a hike. I'm here at the Siegel Marsh Game Lands, and from the Trojan News Network, I'm Mrs. Weiss.
It looks so beautiful out there. Speaking of beautiful, let's head over to Kylie, who will teach us about the beautiful art of crocheting.
While stuck at home, many people are looking for a new craft to occupy their free time. One such craft is crochet. This relaxing yarn craft can help take your mind off of things with an easy, repetitive task. Crocheting has been shown to help with depression, stress, anxiety, and insomnia. You can make many different things, including blankets, scarves, sweaters, dishcloths, and even little characters like Harry Potter here. Crocheted items are great gifts for your friends and family and are even quite enjoyable to make. Yarn shopping is tons of fun. Just be careful that your eyes aren't too much bigger than your hook is fast. Since all the craft stores are closed, you can visit Walmart if you need to pick up some supplies. There they have a great craft section where you can find all the hooks and yarn you'll need. Ravelry.com is a great resource for patterns of any kind. You can also visit YouTube to find tons of tutorials for everything, including the basics, different stitches, and entire patterns. With crochet, the possibilities are endless, and you can let your creativity fly. Thanks for watching and happy crafting! Now on to more news.
That sounds like so much fun. Speaking of fun, let's head over to Mandy and Ruger, who will teach us a few new tricks in puppy pastime.
Good morning, McDowell. My name is Mandy Berlin from the Trojan News Network, and this is Ruger, also from the Trojan News Network. We're here with a puppy pastime, so I'm sure you're all getting bored social distancing, but you know what? So are your dogs. So today, me and Ruger are going to be learning a new trick, and we invite you and your dog at home to join us. Can you stop shaking the camera? This is Ruger Berlin. He's been through puppy training but has forgotten some of his tricks, so today I'm trying to teach him to play dead. The command we use for this is bang bang. You're going to start by asking your dog to lay down, then slowly guide them onto their side and say bang bang, or whatever command you would like them to learn. If they succeed, they get a treat, but if they fail, try again. Ruger struggled with this because he already knows how to roll over, and he really didn't know what I wanted from him, so he just kept rolling. Things were going okay, but then it started raining, so Ruger and I decided it was time to go inside. We worked on this trick for a while, and he's finally starting to get it, but just like anything else, he's going to need much more practice before it's perfect. Whether he actually succeeded or not, it was a lot of fun for him and I, so I encourage you to spend some time with your dog at home. Thanks for watching, and now to more news. Ruger, can you wave? Come on.
Thanks, Mandy and Ruger. If only you would do tricks like that, damsel. That's all for today's episode of Trojans Today. On behalf of McDowell Media, I hope you guys are making the most of this quarantine. We know it's a hard time, but all we can do is stay hopeful and healthy. With that said, I'm Kira Smith, signing off from Trojans Today. Make it a great day, McDowell.